I think Sherry's starting.
I'm just going to say a couple of things first. Is that right, Amy?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so I don't know how many are on here. Can you wave, or Rhonda, can you tell?
We have 7 so far.
Okay, that's perfect. So my name is Sherry. I'm an aquatic fitness coordinator at the Aquatic Center. Rhonda, I don't know if you introduced yourself. You're our supervisor of the pool. And we have Amy in her kitchen. She's taught for 20 years, I think. Is that right, Amy?
22.
22. Oh my goodness, I need to update. She's in her kitchen. She's going to tell us all about nutrition. I'm out here in Shelley and the beautiful Snake River behind me. And I have a garden that is huge. So a little bit later, from what Amy is doing, I'm going to talk more about the Get Fit program and show you a couple things from my garden that will go with what Amy's talking about. And it will also dive into better nutrition and some of the things that are in the Get Fit program. Okay, Amy, you're set up. I'm so excited to hear what you have to say. Go.
Yeah. So welcome. When I was talking about what I wanted to do, there's so many things that come into your head. You have to kind of whittle down so I'm not doing too much. But one thing I thought about, because it's kind of salad season, I wanted to give you a lot of ideas of how we can do salad. And then just kind of a little backup to salads. I was thinking about, a lot of times, my oldest daughter, when she went away to live on her own for the first time, and she wanted to eat healthier, and she's like, Mom, I want to do salad stuff. And she's like, salads just don't fill me up. And so one of the things that I thought about today is, these are some 6 ideas, 6 things that are known to stave off hunger that you can add to salads and all kinds of things. The first one that helps stave off hunger is oatmeal. Oatmeal is huge. It's rich in soluble fibers. I gotta get my cheat sheet to read here. One thing about oatmeal, it becomes gel-like when it's combined with liquid. You know, if you've all cooked oatmeal before, you go from a hard kernel to something that's mushier and kind of gets that jelly liquid around it. Anyway, oats are thought to impact appetite-reducing hormones that empty out your stomach in a slower rate than simple carbs. So that's one of the reasons it makes you helps make you feel fuller. Now the liquid is really important here. If you eat, say, a muffin or a granola bar that has oats in it, you're not going to have that staying power as much as, say, cooked oatmeal, because it's that liquid that makes the gel that helps that staying power stay. Different types of oatmeal. Brina, I'm going to have you look at here. This bowl is steel cut oats. If you've never experienced the difference, most people cook with rolled oats, which are perfectly great. I like the steel cut oats. They have more of a rice-like texture to it, and I think they have more staying power than the rolled oats. These got a little overcooked today, so they're quite mushy. If you cook it a little bit al dente, you can actually use these oats in salads as a grain filler. Some of my other grains, like oats, that help have that great staying power. This bowl right here is quinoa. Another great one, if you look, these are just little tiny kernels. They've got a lot of protein in them. And also great that you can add into salads to give more punch to that salad and help it stay longer. Here, again, these got a little overcooked. These would be great for a soup with this cooking. If you don't cook them quite so much, these are great. You can add them into a salad as well. They just add a little bit more. They're kind of like a legume. And going right into the legumes, second of those foods that help stave off hunger are your beans and legumes. Huge, high in fiber, high in protein. Again, great. Those are like a double punch right there that help keep you feeling full longer. They deliver energy, lots of fiber. And the other really cool thing about beans is that they're a slow, sustained release of blood sugar, which helps you stay full longer. People who are diabetic, I'm not a diabetic, but from what I understand, that it's a great food for that reason, because it has that slow release of blood sugar. Third thing we have helps you feeling fuller longer. Going along with our salad makings here is non-starchy vegetables. Non-starchy vegetables, those are your big leafy greens, your broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus, peppers, celery, stuff like that. Those foods are all what we call low calorie dense. They have a lot of fiber and water in them, but not very many calories. And so for that reason, you can eat a lot of them, but you're not getting all the caloric value of it. So again, fill up on those things. Some options, leafy greens that you're gonna put in salads. So here's our basic, my daughter Noelle, she's my lovely assistant today. She made the basic salad here. We've just got, I put romaine in here. We've just got some onions, carrots, literally basic kid salad as I call it, because it doesn't have a lot of weird stuff in it yet. This is a great way to start out. You can make, you can add kale to this, you can add spinach to this. Endive is awesome. One of the great things about making a salad base like this, they're not very juicy. So when you make the base, this base can last in the fridge for 5 to 7 days without going too brown and gross and slimy. And then a lot of our add-ins, this is what I like to make a base, keep it in there, and then right before I eat it, I put a lot of my add-ins in it. Those add-ons would be tomatoes. These are fresh from my garden. I love cherry tomatoes. You could actually probably put cherries in here because they're firmer and they aren't jelly. But if you're going to chop a tomato, you don't want to keep that in your salad. Cucumbers. Mel, you want to chop cucumber up for me? Again, great. But if you have the cucumbers, tomatoes in your salad,
Do you want it, whatever it's called?
just cut it however you want.
Do you want it peeled?
Oh, Mel's asking to peel. You can, I like the cucumbers. This one is fresh out of my garden. And because it's a garden cucumber, it's not covered in the wax coating. At the grocery store, you have a lot of, they put a lot of coatings on them to make them look prettier, last longer. So quite often I'll peel my cucumbers from the grocery store, but where this one came from my garden, we don't need to peel it. She wants to peel it. That works too. Anyway, so don't put any soggy things in your salad that will go mushy after a while. Right here, Bryn, if you want to look at, these are some great options for salad that maybe you don't think of. One of my favorites, these are edamame. They are a legume. So great. You can buy these in the freezer section already shelved, so you don't have to do the work. And you can sprinkle those in a salad. They add a little bit of a crunch. They give you a little bit of a woody texture. You can also add, so I've got a bowl of mixed beans here. Any kind of canned beans you can add to your salads are going to be amazing.
You want all of it peeled?
Yeah, no, just half. Right here, these are, you know, fresh off of a tree. We've got, this is just a bowl of diced plums, diced apricots. If you have berries, fresh strawberries or raspberries, blackberries, any of those things are amazing in salads. They add a little bit of sweetness. And the cool thing about adding berries is most people like sweet, and then you don't have to add as much salad dressing. When you're making a salad, salad dressings are awesome, but you want to be careful not to overdo it. Great ideas for salad. I wish you guys have. If you have any comments, please raise your hand if you have great ideas for helping with salads. One of the things that a lot of people have said, you know, you can always, I always get my salad dressing on the side if I'm at a restaurant. I can pour, usually I only use maybe a third of what they give me because they give you so much of it. You can dip your fork in it just to get a little bit on every bite. But if you do use some of these fruits and things like that that have a little bit sweeter texture, red peppers is a great one, and tomatoes, because they give you a little bit more sweetness and you don't have to use as much dressing on them. Other ideas for dressing, I love vinegars. You can go, Love at First Bite is one of my favorite places to get vinegars. There's a lot of other places that sell them, but right here, this is my little vinegar collection. This one, let me see, this is a pear lime cinnamon. They have so many fun flavors. One of my favorites, they have a huckleberry balsamic, which is delicious. These are some that you just buy at your regular grocery store. We've got rice vinegar we're going to talk about later. Got a red wine vinegar, basic balsamic, apple cider vinegar works really good as well. With those vinegars, if you add them to your salads, they give you that nice little tangy flavor that add a great punch, but you don't have all the calories from like the oils and everything. So I'm not saying you can't use oils in your salads. They're a great thing too. Just be careful because you can add a lot of calories with those oils and a lot of sugars as well. So with that said, okay, on my list, these are our filling foods. We've been oatmeal, we talked about beans, we've talked about the non-starchy vegetables. Oh, eggs. Number 4 on my list is eggs. I did not put any eggs here, but boiled eggs are a great way to, you can add to salad to add a little bit more staying power to those salads you're making. Great snack food. I quite often will boil a bunch of eggs, put them on my fridge, and my kids will just eat them as snacks. They're a great way to just have a little snack to tide you over that will help you stay fuller longer. Another great one, this right here. I usually make my own Greek yogurt, but this is just one I bought at Winco. I like to buy, you can buy all kinds of different flavors of yogurt. I like the Greek yogurt because it has a higher content of protein in it. Interesting enough, when I went to buy this, so this is Winco brand, and I shop Winco mostly because they're cheap and they have a lot of stuff there. But when I looked at the nutrition labels, the Winco brand yogurt has less sugar and more protein than your name brand, like the Zoe and the Chobani yogurts and the Faye. I was really surprised at that. So go Winco. There's our cheap. I have a large family, as you know, so cheap is really important to me. Anyway, Greek yogurt, awesome. You can use Greek yogurt as in your recipes for dressings. One of my favorite ways to do it is to take your Greek yogurt and some dry ranch dressing mix them together. You can use it as a dip. You can pour it over your salads. Anytime you have a recipe, if you make homemade salad dressings, you can use this in place of your mayo or cream to give you that.
$10, Mac. I'll pay your $10 with me.
Does somebody have a question? Oh, sorry, I thought I heard a question. Please ask questions if you have any. Anyway, Greek yogurt is great. One of the things on this one, I should have said, I don't know if I did, but this is plain Greek yogurt. When you're getting yogurts for snack foods, if you go with other ones, they tend to get a lot of sugars in them. So I really try to stay with, if you can, and if you can use it for cooking, at least for what we're talking about, this plain non-fat Greek yogurt is going to be your best health option because it doesn't have all the fat, what do you call it? Saturated fats in it, and it doesn't have all the sugars. So great way to go there. All right, last one. Number 6 on our list is brothy soups. This doesn't have much to do with salads, but also a great filler is brothy soups. It can really curb if you have, like a lot of times you go to restaurants and you have like a super salad before your meal, soup is a great option. I don't know what it is about warm liquid, and you want one that's a broth based, like minestrone or squash soup, because those things, they're not going to add the calories, but they're really going to, for whatever reason, hot liquids tend to fill up your belly and make you eat a little bit less. So anyway, think about soups as we're moving into the fall season to add extra things. And Rhonda, I will get this paper to you so you can post this with our information for people to have. All right, now to some of the fun stuff of all this stuff I've got here. Really quick, I'm gonna make, this is a fun, easy salad to make. Capri salad, if you've ever heard of it or tried it. These are just cherry tomatoes I picked out of my garden and washed this morning. This is so easy, dumping them all in there. Right here, I've got some mozzarella balls. Just gonna, whoops, that's a little bit more than I wanted. Dump some of those in there. And then right here, this is a reduction. And I don't, if you've ever done, so I started this, which is the basic balsamic vinaigrette, or vinegar, sorry. And I don't know, how much did we start with, Bryn? Maybe like half cup?
Half cup-ish.
Probably started with like a half cup in a pan. And we just brought it to a boil and then simmered it, kind of stirring occasionally to reduce it down so that now instead of it, if you can see, it's almost syrup-like. So it's a reduction. And then I added, so we probably got out of that half a cup, we got maybe 2 tablespoons worth of reduced vinegar here. And then I added just like a couple drops of honey to add a little bit of sweetness. And all this is literally tomatoes, cheese. I'm just gonna salt it a little bit. Add a little bit of pepper. Pour on our vinegar here. A reduction. This stuff is amazing, by the way, if you've never tried it. And then the best part, these are some just fresh basil leaves, and I'm just gonna tear those up a little bit. And add that to my salad. And that is all a Capri salad is. If you look online, you see some people do like really pretty things with them, and they try to get them like, I don't know, they like organize. So they do like a cheese slice and a tomato slice and a cheese slice and a basil leaf. But for me, I'm like, this may not be pretty, but that's all it is. Mix it up. Yeah. This is really good. You gotta try it. See how quick that was? Quick salad. Oh, and what did you say? 15 minutes. One thing you can add to these as well, pine nuts. These are just fresh pine nuts. All of these little things I have here are things you can buy.
Pine nuts.
At Bryn tells me my time is running out, so we're gonna be quick. A few little add-ons that you can put on any kind of salad. We talked about the edamame, we talked about the fruit, any kind of seeds. These are sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, any kind of seeds are amazing. Chia seeds. Now let me tell you about chia seeds. This is chia seeds, plain. They're little bitty black, kind of grain-like things. If you're gonna use chia seeds, I recommend soaking them. These have been soaking in water for about a half hour. I recommend soaking them first. Just like our oatmeal, you get that kind of gelatinous, let's see if I can pull it up. It's kind of like gel-like. And that's gonna help with that staying full. There's a lot of protein in chia seeds and they really do help with the fullness. This bowl right here, again, something I can buy in the bulk at Winco. These are hemp hearts and they're a little bit crunchy, a little bit nutty, but another great salad topping that's very nutritious. And when I say hemp hearts, they're not anything marijuana-ish, just so you know. And then nuts. I love putting nuts in my salads. This is just some sliced almonds. I use those quite often. You can do walnuts. You can use any kind of nuts you want. Other salad toppings we've got here. These are, if you're somebody who likes your little salty, crunchy, these are like these. I think they're like freeze-dried, Harvest Crisp green pea snacks. And if you get these, you think, oh, those have a lot of calories, Amy, but I'm not talking about putting them in whole. I would much rather eat these than croutons myself. And if I'm putting them in a bowl, like literally break them up, this is like 4 of those peas. And for me, like that, and maybe a few more. Of course, we'll do 8 of them. But still, that gives you, broken up, that's quite a bit of topping for a salad. Tastes really good. Another one, jumping over to this side here. This is a basic Mexican-y salad. 2 options for this. So all we've done here, I think I have 3 different kinds of beans in here. I've got a green pepper, some green onions, and a can of corn. Really, with the chopping up your vegetables, it is just your basic open cans, dump it in, drain them and dump them in. 2 options here. Catalina dressing, probably use maybe 1/3 to 1/2 a bottle. Put it in there to marinate. And then I will use this entire thing over a bed of lettuce. So you would make this like this whole beanie thing would be your salad dressing. Then for the topper of that, take you a bag of Fritos and crunch them up. And you don't need the whole bag. Again, to get about this much, you really don't need very much. Maybe just a quarter cup of Frito chips, crunch them up, put them on top. You've got great flavor, great Mexican salad there. One more option with this, if you don't want to do Catalina, take this whole option here. Oh, by the way, cilantro in here as well. Just mix some salsa in there with it. Salsa, add a little extra cumin, salt, and pepper. Another great way to add a different flavor to that Mexican salad. Man, my time is out. A couple other options just to give you quick options real fast. If you're somebody that has no time, you can buy pre-done salad in a bag like this. Everything's here. You've got the dressing, you've got your toppers, you've got nuts, you've got everything you need to make an amazing salad right there in the bag. Oh, one more topper. In fact, we're doing this for dinner tonight. We do a Chinese chicken salad, one of my favorites. I will post it on the thing, but all you need, a little bit of ramen noodle. These are just crunched up ramen noodles, work great. And of course, there's the basic croutons. With these kind of toppings though, one thing I want you to be aware of is that a little bit goes a long ways. If you're somebody who likes more toppings than you like salad, maybe it's time to wean yourself into bigger portions of salad and smaller portions of topping, because the salad is what's really the good part for you. Portion size for salad. One more thing. Portion size for salad. If you were going to eat a salad, probably if it's your main meal and not just like a side dish. So this bag right here says this is about 3 cups of salad. And if this was your main meal, quite honestly, this whole bag would be almost 1 serving. About 3 cups is a good serving size if you're eating salad as a main meal. Everybody's different. If you're somebody who's more active, you might want more. If you're somebody who's not quite so active, maybe not quite that much. But just be aware, if salad is your main meal, you don't want just like a little tiny bowl like this. That's just not going to fill you up for an entire meal. Any questions? We good?
I was wondering, you said there was some green, woody, crunchy things, and I didn't catch what they were.
Right here? Yes. These are,
they were a little bit bigger. Sorry, not those ones. They were more in the middle of the table.
Right here?
Yes.
Oh, edamame. So they're soybeans, edamame. You can buy them in the freezer section. They come in a pod, like pea pods. You can buy them in the pods, but if you buy them in the freezer section, look for the ones that are already shelled, and then you don't have to do any work. These work a lot like green peas. So you come frozen, you can literally just put them under some hot water for a few seconds to thaw them out, and they're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I do have a question. When you give me the list of things to post on Facebook, can you give me a list of everything you have on your table so people will know what they're called?
You bet you. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, I will put a rundown of salad basics and salad toppings. So yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, Noelle, grab the bag of frozen fruit in the fridge. Go ahead and ask more questions. But while she's getting one thing for me, I'm just going to show you one more quick thing, what I call breakfast salad. But if you have questions, go ahead. Give me a spoon, a big spoon. Super easy if you don't have a lot of time, except the time it takes to open up a bag, because I'm not very good at this apparently.
Amy,
Yeah.
at the beginning you talked about the oats and why you talked about making salads today, about filling you up. There's probably half the people in here missed your first little comment. Could you just kind of review that a little bit?
You betcha. Yeah, so when we talked about foods that help stave off hunger, number one on my list is those whole grains, and particularly like oatmeal is awesome. These are still cut oats. You need to add water to them to get that staying power, because the water helps make that gelatinous, like here's our chia seeds. See how they're kind of gel-like when you add water? And oatmeal is in that same category. And that gel-like substance, fibrous, the soluble fiber, that's what it's like. That's what gives you the staying power. So these are still cut oats. I like them better than rolled oats myself. I like the texture a little bit better, but they do take longer to cook. These are lentils, another thing. You can eat these plain, you can eat them in soups, you can put them in salads. And another favorite of mine, these are quinoa. So quinoa, cooked little tiny granules, but added to salads, added to anything, is gonna add a lot of stay power so that you feel satiated.
So Amy, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Lentils are great to sprout. So we take a plastic cake pan lid and we put it over another plastic cake pan lid. You can get them at DI or borrow them or whatever. And we put lentils in there and we just water them for maybe 2 days in our window ledge. And we water it 2 or 3 times a day, and they make beautiful sprouts, and they're so crunchy and yummy. So
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. I love sprouts. I have actually never done my own sprouting, but I like to buy sprouts. Tell me, Sherry, when you do your sprouts and you say you add water a couple times a day, do you change out the water or you just
yes.
add more? Okay.
Yeah, no, you rinse it. And you can get a sprout maker thing, which has a little lid that you can put over like a quart jar. And we've done it that way too. There's a lot of different ways to do the sprouts you can find online. But we've tried every seed and bean sprout there is, even bird seed. We tried bird seed sprouts and they were so yummy. And my husband said, guess what they are? And I went, I don't know, but I want more. And he said, they're bird seeds. I went, okay.
That's crazy. That's awesome though. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. Like I say, I bought sprouts before and I like to eat sprouts in my salads. Thank you for bringing that up, but I've never tried my own. That's gonna be my challenge for this week.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. Any other comments or questions?
I just want to say one more thing. One of our sponsors is Love at First Bite. So it's a weekly challenge. Yes, Love at First Bite is awesome. And they have samples of your vinegars. You can try them on different pieces of bread. I'm so excited. I've never bought that huckleberry balsamic you were talking about.
Yes.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, they have so many flavors. Like literally, it's like candy shop for me. I could just go around and taste vinegars all day over there. This is just a mix. As you're looking, these are just a mixed frozen veggies, or sorry, frozen fruits. We've got blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries in here. And this is one of my favorite things to do. This thing you brought me. This is what I call, this is like breakfast or any kind of treat you want. We've just got berries and I've got that plain non-fat Greek yogurt. And the cool thing is you put this yogurt in here and mix it up and the berries and the yogurt start changing places. So we start getting frozen yogurt and softer berries. This makes awesome breakfast, quick, easy. You get that little bit of protein. You could even add into this. You could add some of your chia. You could add some of your grains into this if you want. One I thought I'd had, because I usually have them on hand at my house, but another great whole grain is groats. You can buy toasted groats in the bulk section at Winco, and they just add a nice little crunch. You can add them to salads, but my kids really like to eat them in yogurt and berries. This is one of their favorite ways to do yogurt and berries, is with the groats on top. So anyway, great place. You can see, show it again. See how it's starting to get there? Look, isn't that fun? The yogurt's like coming frozen yogurt now.
It is hard.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right.
Rhonda, you started to say something.
I was just saying, Zoom just extended our time, so we have more people. So
Oh, awesome. So how much time did they extend it?
it didn't say, it says you just have more time. So I would go ahead and talk if you have more you want to add. So.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say that on top of that frozen yogurt fruit thing, we do the same thing, but we add homemade granola. And so I make homemade granola maybe once a week. I do it in my crock pot, and it's so easy. You don't.
Post that
I could share that with everybody on Facebook. It's so simple, and I don't have to bake it in the oven and make my kitchen hot, and it burns. You know, I used to do that for years, but in the crock pot, you just stir it every once in a while. You leave the lid off, and so yeah, I'll share that recipe. But that is our breakfast and our snacks, and it goes in granola and yogurt. I mean, fruit and yogurt. So questions, anybody? I'm going to start walking around because on our Get Fit challenge, and as you think about nutrition and food, one of the things that sparked this is the 2nd, the 4th, and the 6th week this year. If you've done the challenge before, we're adding new stuff. So week 2, you have to try a new healthy food that you've never tried before. So Amy's already given us lots of ideas, and I want to show you a couple of ideas in my garden. You need a huge space for this. How many of you've ever seen Hubbard squash or tasted Hubbard squash? Anybody?
I love Hubbard squash. It's one of my favorites.
Are you done?
So my mom
And
makes
Amy,
instead of pumpkin pie, it's Hubbard pie.
Hubbard pie. Oh, I'm so excited because we grew it a few years ago, and my husband had to take a big hatchet. So here we are. You can see it got froze. So there's 1 and 2, 3. If you can see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and lots of babies. There's a baby. But could you do that all right? I just kind of swooped it around. Those are our big Hubbard squash that we're so excited to. And if you want to try it, there's no way that both of us are going to be eating 9 squash this winter. And that could be your new food that you try. Okay, can everybody still hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, it's so weird to just see myself on here, so I don't know. Okay, I'm traveling over here to my garden too. Going along with the new food, how many of you have ever had ground cherries?
Nope.
Anybody? I wonder if I can take you, do a backward. That's okay. Oh, anyway, so here we are. Kale is something new I hadn't tried about 2 years ago, I think. So we have lots of kale over here. If anybody wants to come to my garden, I would be happy to share. Another thing we had never tried was ground cherries. These are them, and you have to wait till they fall on the ground. Let's see, there's one right there. And they're in a husk. So all you have to do is peel off the husk, and out pops a cherry. They're kind of green at first. I'm going to eat it because it's still yummy, but they turn kind of golden. There's no seed. Oh, they're so good. And you just eat them. We eat like 2 dozen a day. I've already harvested tons. And something else I had never tried. One of the patrons at the,
Do they taste like regular cherries then?
I can't describe what they taste. They're really sweet. No.
So they're vegetable or
Well, my husband thinks they're part of the tomato family.
they kind of look like baby tomatillos. Is that what they're called?
They do look like baby tomatillos. Yeah, see, you can pick them off, and it's just this dried husk. And then when you take it off, it's just tiny. It's green. But what we do is I wait till they fall on the ground. There's a bunch I need to pick, and then I let them. I got on the internet and I let them sit out till they turn more yellowish, And then when you pop it open, they're like apricot color. So good. And beet greens are right next to it. And how many of you had beet greens in your salad? Have you? I mean, I had never had a Marion Webb. She takes from our water aerobic. She loves them. So I thought, I'm going to be brave. This was 2 summers ago, and I'm going to start eating these green things in my salads. I'm just going to eat it right straight from my garden. They're so good. And kale, baby kale, not kale, Swiss chard. If you've never had Swiss chard, the baby ones, like this little one right here, oh, they are so good in salads. When I'm watering my garden, I eat. I never sit down to eat my meals. I eat from my garden as I water. Something else I wanted you to look at for new was these we've already harvested. Does anybody know what these are? Anybody? They're purple. You can eat this when it gets dry. We've already dried a whole bunch. Oh my gosh, the name escapes me now. You can also eat the leaves. We put them in our salads. And oh my goodness, it's a grain. So it dries and you can actually grind it up. And it's a really healthy grain. It'll come to me in a little bit. Nobody's heard of it though, huh? But there again, I eat them. I'm crazy, I know. Dill. Ours is starting to turn yellow now, the dill seeds. I put these in my salads, Amy. They're so good. They're so, so good. And I also put cilantro in my salad. And if you want parsley, I live out in Woodville, which is, it's almost to Shelley. We have tons of basil and parsley. There's some parsley. Salad, it is the best. It is so high in everything. So yum yum. We have 19 different kinds of tomato plants, so way too many more than I can take care of. Lots of new ones I tried for a friend this year. There's something else I was going to show you. We have our 3rd planting of lettuce and greens. It's just started. They're just starting to come up. So what we'll do is we'll put like a greenhouse over the top of it and we'll have salad all winter. Okay, just a second. I passed it and I thought, oh, eggplant. Have you all had eggplant before? This is a baby one. I picked all the ripe ones the other day when the freeze came. So they're great to roast. We throw in all the vegetables in the garden and we make a big fire in the pit with foil. And that's what our dinner was last night, just big vegetable dinner. And then the last thing I'll show you is our goji berry bushes. That's a new one. You probably haven't had fresh goji berries, or have you? Anybody?
Nope.
Okay, they're really yummy. They're usually big. Whoops, I just dropped it. But the bees have been getting to them lately, and I get out here. Oh, here's some right now. Oh, here we go. If I don't get here fast, the bees eat them. See them? Aren't those yummy? They're orange, and goji berries are so great in salads, fresh or dried. They're so yummy. Okay, then the last thing, just because I like to show off my garden, we have our first watermelon. It's going to be ready to eat soon. And we have tons of cantaloupe that we've already eaten. Lots of butternut squash.
It sounds like we need to have a gardening class too.
Zucchini. You should come out, and we could have a big party.
Yeah.
I'd love to land. I froze 250 pints of raspberries this year. Yeah. So we have lots of berries, and there's our strawberries. We're gonna kind of clean up some of these berries. So if you want some, we'll be giving some away, and then we're gonna make new strawberries. Okay, I took a lot of time, but I wanted to get excited about the new foods. Okay, week 4, you need to try something new as far as exercise. Then you get points for the challenge that week. So this, Rhonda, now explain this. Do we get a pass to maybe try something for free? Ice skating, golf?
I'm still working on it.
Okay, we're really trying hard to get the city to offer us some things like that. What did I do with my notebook? Okay, I put it somewhere. And week 6 then is try something new. Not food, not exercise, but weaving, pottery making, crocheting. What else? What other ideas do you guys have?
Cooking.
Cooking!
Yeah.
Try something new. And this is something new every day. And if you do something new every day, you get extra points for that week and your name gets put in a drawing for prizes. So I want to hear your questions for the Get Fit Challenge. If you've already looked at the charts, if you have any questions.
Is everybody that's here in the challenge? Maybe they don't know what it is for sure. Do you want to?
That's true. That's true. Some people that are on here might have just come for the Get Fit nutrition class. So you can still join. It starts tomorrow. You track your weight and you track how many vegetables you eat and you track things like exercise. 10,000 steps a day for 5 days a week is one of our big challenges again this time. It's really fun. We do it together and we get on the website and get new ideas from our emails, from things that I'll send you out each week. And you add up your points because you might get a prize. This is our 7th challenge. So it's been really fun, right? Amy, you've done every one too. And so is Rhonda. All 3 of us have done it. Oh, and guess what? This week is free Aquatic Center week. You get to swim laps for free. You get to take any of our fitness classes for free. So do it.
Yeah, you can sign up on our website at idahofalls.idaho.gov/registration. It's called Get Fit Together.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so-
really, I am serious about coming out to my garden and gleaning some new foods. I would love for you to come join. Just bring your mask and we'll share.
Emily,
Sure.
you have a question?
Let's see. I just spaced it after hearing about the garden again. um, so on the Get Fit chart, it shows how there is points for each, each of the challenges each day. And so if it was like drink your water and you get 5, and then there was like 5 points that said that. Is it 5 points that you mark each day that you?
If you put an X in the box, if you're doing it from the online thing, if you put an X in the box, it will give you the 5 points and add it for you at the end. If you're doing it by hand, you would put 5 points. But you have to do it the whole thing for the day or nothing. So you either get all 5 points for hitting that healthy habit or 0 points.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So and that means that it's like 5 points for that day. So is there a chart that it's not by hand?
Yeah. When you sign up, you should have got a link in your receipt. And I'll send everybody out a new one first thing tomorrow morning. But it's an Excel file. So if you have Excel, you can go in and just put an X in the box and it'll add the points up for you.
All right. I'll check that out then.
But feel free, every Monday at 9 a.m., that's when you turn in everything. And feel free to ask me questions. I'll send my email, or you can email the Get Fit. That goes to me as well, and to Rhonda, and you can ask questions and we'll help you along that way. Or you could call the front desk. They might know the answer.
So would it be okay if I do like Sunday turning it in, or does it have to be Monday just because?
It has to be in before 9 a.m. on Monday morning.
So sure, you can turn it in Sunday. Yeah,
Okay.
as long as it's before 9 a.m. on Monday.
Because I'm an accidental procrastinator, so I try to avoid it.
Oh, Amy, let's go back. Does anybody have any questions for Amy? I mean, we have such a gem in our hand here for what she did today. I got all excited about salads. My sister's always saying as well, salads are so boring. How can you eat a salad every day? I eat salad every day, and I do make them boring sometimes because I'm in a hurry or whatever. But just know that they're the best thing you can have. There's no better food.
Well, and I was going to say, define what salad is. I mean, if you're talking salad has to have
true.
lettuce, that can be boring. When my kids were little, like literally I could take a hunk of iceberg lettuce and cut it in quarters and give them a quarter of a head of iceberg, and that would be all they wanted, that with ranch dressing. But as we get to be adults, you know, we like to try new things and experience more. And my version of salad is literally anything that you dump in a bowl and mix up. Like I said, like my little, you know, this like thing, I call this breakfast salad because it's just fun. The Capri salad that we had, there is no lettuce in it. It's just tomatoes, basil, and your mozzarella. So
I guess I was thinking green salad is what you should eat every day, but you're right. The other salads are fun. Need to do that too. Still trying to think of that grain. Anyway, I'll email you. I'll let you know what that grain is. I'll put it on my next weekly email.
Perfect. So Sherry, really quickly, when you're talking about salad toppings in your garden, the goji berries, where did you get the gojis at?
I got my initial, and you can do this too, Amy. I paid $20 for, it was a nurse, it's this lady on Sunnyside. She had a big pot with a goji berry bush. It was this big. And look what's happening. I have all these goji berry bushes, and they're having babies.
Perfect.
I'm not even watering them. But these particular goji berry bushes are special. They're from Croatia because we went to Croatia on a couch surfing trip 7 years ago. We planted the seeds a year ago. They were dried. And I remember tasting how wonderful they were, and we brought them home. We're not supposed to bring things from Europe, but we did. And we didn't remember what kind of berries they were, but I'm sure they're goji berries because our original goji berry bush is right here in our raspberry patch. It's right in the middle. You can't really pick out, but this is it. But that's the one I paid $25 for, and it's the same. It's their orange goji berries. And that, I don't know anywhere else to get them except from that lady, but they're pretty primo. They're hard to come by. They're easy to grow though.
Cool. I'm going to have to come get some. I have never
tasted definitely. There are lots of antioxidants. Yeah, lots of antioxidants in goji berries. Amaranth, that's the grain. Amaranth, AMAN.
Yes.
RANTH. So amaranth is a fantastic grain, and amaranth flour is Itwinco. Yeah, a lot of people are using it more and more that are gluten intolerant. Look at this fun pepper. There's peppers and they're turning red. This one's good. I don't know what kind of red pepper. Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking too much, but there was lots of really good ideas for salads. Do you use chicken? I know that, like, anyway.
For salads, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, chicken is a great, anytime, you know, if any kind of salad, you can put meats in them if you want. That's another great way to add some more sustaining power. Quite often I will cook whole chickens, or I'll buy those rotisserie chickens at the grocery store is my favorite way to go, because then all you have to do is cut it up. And you can, a lot of times I'll get one of those and put it in my freezer or in my fridge and just take out little bits at a time when I need them for salads. Tuna fish is also a great salad if you're a tuna person. I love nowadays, you know, the old fashioned way was in the can, but now they have those fun little tuna packets that are pretty inexpensive, and they come with lots of different flavors. Let me see if I can find one here to show you. I probably have one. You probably have seen them.
I'm the only one that likes tuna in my house.
Oh, well, this is cool because these are like individual, sorry, it's like backwards, but these tuna creations, these are awesome. This is sweet and spicy. They have lemon pepper. One of my favorites, like if you're a salad with ranch person, they have a tuna ranch flavor that I like to put in basic salads. And for me, I don't even eat salad dressing with it. Like I just put that tuna ranch in there and eat my salad, and it's enough flavor for me.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Tuna steaks are really good in the salad too.
Ooh, yeah.
Yummy. Yeah, we always do Southwest salad. That's kind of our accidental like repeat salad. So it's good to branch out like this. This is good.
Yeah, and just try. There's so many things, and I'll tell you one thing. We are so lucky with online nowadays. Like you can Google anything. I mean, even just this morning, like I do quite a bit of make my own salad dressings, and I just Googled homemade salad dressings this morning, and I can't tell you how many salad dressings came up. There was one that was even one specific website, and she said 8 basic homemade salad dressings, and they were all different flavors that you can easily make without all the additives and preservatives and sugar that your store-bought ones have in them. So, and they really don't take much time to make, and most of your homemade salad dressings will last anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. So good way to go.
Do you feel
Yeah,
like
go
Oh,
ahead,
sorry.
Emily. You're
No.
Emily, right?
Yeah, sorry. I
Okay,
just keep
go ahead.
talking.
No, do it.
I was just gonna ask, do you feel like your family's meals, like staples, meal staple is salads, or do you kind of branch out? I'm just
So-
curious because
That's a great question. So we have like a split family, and when I say that, we all live together. My husband and 8 children. Well, I've got my oldest daughter is moved out, but anyway, my husband is truly the definition of a carnivore. I can make a chili that has 2 pounds of beef in it, and he tells me it's a side dish. So for him, a meal, there's got to be a hunk of meat on the side. So quite often, I will cook like a salad or some kind of casserole dish that's meat free, and then I will cook him his chunk of meat on the side because that's how he likes his food. So we do quite varieties. I like soups. Bet I love that we're getting into fall soup season, because for me, soups are one of those easy things to make. They're hard to screw up. So if you're somebody who has a hard time cooking, soup is a great way to start, because it's really hard to mess up soup, and you can add so many things, like vegetables, things that are really healthy for you to eat in it as well.
yeah.
Amy, you made a soup last year with healthy thickening. So maybe you can give us that recipe and I can put it out again. I probably have it on my file.
Yeah, it was great. It's called celery soup, but it has a lot more in it than celery. But yeah, the thickener is made with cashews, so you don't have all the butter and cream that you would have in a roux. Any other
Those are great
questions?
tips.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I am retired, and so my husband and I are just by ourselves, so we don't eat meat typically at all. And I find I do eat a salad every day, and it's our base meal for one of our meals. And I don't feel guilty about not getting enough protein, because we can put beans on it, and kale has lots of protein, and your seeds, your almonds, your nuts, your chia seed. I mean, we get plenty of protein. So everybody has their own ways of doing things, and cottage cheese has protein. Sometimes I'll dot cottage cheese on top. So, but also one other thing, when we went to Greece, for their salad dressings, all they use is vinegar and olive oil. You just whisk it up with salt and pepper, and that's all they do. It's very basic, and it was so wonderful. I got really used to plain old dressings. Yeah.
One of my favorite salads is you take cottage cheese and you add the 3 different color of peppers, pickles, onions, all kinds of different veggies, and I put it in my cottage cheese and then eat my cottage cheese.
Oh my gosh, I've never thought of that.
Good. Yeah. So your cottage cheese is kind of like your dressing. That's kind of cool. I like that.
It's like cottage cheese with
Yep.
vegetables added in. So it's kind of like a cottage cheese tuna salad kind of thing.
Yeah.
One thing kind of going back to food, kind of like Sherry said, so kind of, I told you my husband is carnivore, so we do have a lot of meat because he likes to cook his meat. But when you're talking about eating healthier, like my children and I do, like Sherry said, I do try to make at least one meal a day that is just salad, and I put as many fruits and vegetables that I can think of in those salads. And we didn't, in the last Get Fit that we had, I really talked a lot about adding more produce to your meals. One of my favorite things I tell my kids all the time is just eat a rainbow. You want to make sure you get a large variety of color in your meals, and of course you're not going to get color unless you're eating produce. So definitely make that
I love
part.
that.
Yeah.
And that should be our theme, really, for the Get Fit. Eat a rainbow. Wow. Well, I think, unless anybody has any other questions, that maybe we could tie this. What do you think, Rhonda?
I think we're good.
Try to
There's any
round it up.
I will try to figure out how to take the recording and post it on Facebook so everyone can see it. But I would love everybody to join us if they haven't already on the Get Fit program.
Thanks so much.
Okay. Thank you, Amy. You were great. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. That was great.
Bye-bye.